So I'm about part 2 of week 20 and another busy part of the week. My weeks are just going to be really, really full and jam-packed until probably the end of the year. If we move house, we're going to be under renovations for the rest, like next sort of 5 years. But in terms of summer and things, it's always quite busy. And this one was just really busy with work and friends and everything like that. So, but it was nice. As I said, the weather was nice and we got to see lots of different people and just enjoy spring basically. So I don't have any 6x4 photos at all, so I have just sort of made do with my 3x4 photos and the cut parts, and it worked out really nicely, to be honest. I like how it came out. It's always nice and bright. The first photo set is a picture of Joe with my friend's dog, and then also the food that we went out for. So we went over to where my friend lives. She doesn't live near me, and we went to the restaurant that has just opened. We've had the food as a takeaway before, but because they've opened up a restaurant, we thought we'd go over. And it was just supposed to be the girls, but because we hyped up this food so much, the guys had to come along. So there was 7 of us all in total. But it was really nice. We got to see her baby dog again. She's just short of a year old now. She's really cute. So that was just a picture of Joe with Nova on his lap, and then just a picture of the food that we had, which was really nice. It was like a Turkish kebab restaurant, but it was really nice. And it was nice to catch up. We didn't leave the restaurant until like 10 p.m. So yeah, it was really nice. So that's going to go in the top right. Again, I'm going to use one of my little stamp labels to write out what we did, and then just try and use one of the stickers that I had left on that sticker sheet. There really isn't much left on that sticker sheet at all, but I am trying to use up the stickers where I can. Then the middle section on the Thursday, this was supposed to be my house moving day from work, so I do get the day off to move house, but it obviously didn't happen. So instead I had to go on a management course and make it sound like I didn't want to go, but it was one of those things I was a bit nervous to go to, but it was my first management conference. I've been a management manager for 4 years now, but I've not actually been to one of these. I think they've just always fallen when I've not been around, but I did get to go this time. But I would have much rather moved house. That's probably what I meant. I did want to go to this, but I would have preferred to move house on that day. But yeah, so I went over to Manchester for this. And basically what it is, it's just an update of what's going on with the business, what we can expect to see, and different directors of the company give overlooks of how we're achieving and everything like that. So it was really interesting. And I actually ended up sitting next to the managing director of the company that I work for. And she's so nice, and it was so nice to talk to her. I've met her a few times, but in passing. But it was really nice. And yeah, I really enjoyed the day. So we got lunch and everything like that. And it was at a really fancy hotel in Manchester. So got to experience that as well. So I just took a picture of the board that said like welcome to the conference, and I'm going to again write a little stamp label with what I did. And then as part of like the day they had like a quiz, and it was all done via phone, and you know the answers came up on the screen, everything like this, and I actually did really well. There was 200 people in this room and I came 11th out of that quiz. Obviously it was questions about our company and things like that, and I thought it was quite good, so I screenshotted me coming 11th because I was quite proud of that. The person that came first got a prize, but yeah, it was quite fun to do, and I enjoyed that. So I'm just going to insert the little cut parts. They don't really like go with anything. They're all very similar. The only thing I would say about this collection is that they do repeat the word spring over and over and over again. So every cut part has spring in it. But it's fine. As I said, it's good to use them up. And it was a very spring week anyway. As I said, the weather was lovely. So it was nice to use it. And then on the Friday, obviously this would have been us moving into the new house. So I would have taken Thursday off to move house as such, like to pack up and get things ready. And then Friday was my day off and I would have actually moved house on the Friday. So instead, Joe and I decided to go out and do this. They've got a trail, an art trail, across like a larger part of Yorkshire, and I thought it was really fun. You did have to drive around a lot though. That was sort of the only bad side thing. It wasn't like a walk-in one, so we drove all the way over there, and Joe did say in the car, he was like, oh, I don't really feel too great, and I said, we can go home, like it's a long way to be if you don't feel very well. And he was like, no, I'm fine. And then we did a couple driving around and collected these statues. There was like there were rats this time, which I thought was quite cute. But yeah, you can, it's the same with the one we did like in London with the eggs. They had like an app for it. But yeah, so we collected a few, and then Joe sort of said, oh, I don't actually feel great. And I said, oh, what sort of thing is it? And he had stomach pains and things like that. So we ended up driving home. But it was a good sort of hour and a half round, like there, an hour and a half back. So I did feel for him, but I was like, you should have just said before we left, if you didn't feel well, we didn't have to do this. But I think he just wanted to get out and about, but yeah, it didn't work. So we did get a few pictures with the rats that we did get, and this trail's on until the end of August anyway, so I'm hoping we can complete it another day. But we did get a few. So I did put a picture of us at the start, and I'm going to write on there that we started it, but we'll hopefully get to finish it when Joe was feeling better and we got another day off together. And that was on Friday. When we came home, Joe literally went to sleep. He felt better at the end of the day, but I got him some pills and some food and stuff like that, and he did feel a bit better. I think he thinks he gave himself food poisoning by eating out of date cream, which isn't ideal, but at least he sort of knew what it was. And then on the Saturday, I just had a chilled afternoon, and I think I worked. Yeah, I did. I ended up working just to help out a colleague that wanted the day off, and then I watched the Eurovision. I don't normally watch the whole thing because it is quite long, but it's nice to watch a few of the acts. I did obviously get to see the UK, and I saw Austria, the one that actually won. So yeah, it was just a really fun thing to have in the background whilst I was working. And they're always quite bizarre and always quite out there and things. So again, it's a nice fun watch and sort of an easy watch. But yeah, I'm going to put that cuppa in the top, and that is everything. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back soon. Bye.